Jackson begins his second term after the election, after his massive landslide in the election of 1832, with the death of the bank. It's going to occupy the vast majority of our analysis of his second term. He's basically going to kill it. How does he do it? Well, basically what he does is he takes the fundings, all the federal money that's in in the Bank of the United States, he takes it out, and he's going to distribute it into what we would call a pet bank. So he's not against the idea of a bank in general. He's just against the federal government being involved in the banking system when it comes to that. And so he effectively is going to kill it. Basically what he's doing, he's slitting its throat and letting it bleed to death. And as a result, the Senate actually censures the president, basically saying that he acted inappropriately. It's a reprimand. It's not. I mean, it's not like he gets any sort of political price for it, but nonetheless, it's a reprimand, a slap in the wrist. And Jackson is the first and only time as Jackson is a president in the United States is going to be censured by the Senate. But of course, the fall of the bank is going to ironically lead to exactly what Henry Clay had predicted. It's going to lead to the collapse of the economy. More about that when we talk about the Panic of 1837. But this is all going to set up the backdrop for the election of 1836. Jackson has two terms, and he's going to follow Washington's tradition and retire from public life. But before he does this, he is going to basically anoint his successor. He's going to tell the Democrats, "You need to nominate my vice president, Martin Van Buren." So the Democrats are going to nominate Martin Van Buren. We're going to have a new party come about, the Whigs. They get their name for the Whigs from a British party, basically, that opposes monarchical power in Britain. That kind of tells you exactly what Jackson's opponents thought of him. They didn't like how he ran the White House, ran the presidency. He found him. He basically were implying that he was some sort of king. And so they called themselves the Whigs. And the Whigs during this election are not going to nominate one, not two, not three, but four different candidates. All four of these guys supposedly poll well in various areas of the country. And the strategy behind it is basically to take away electoral votes from the Democratic nominee, Martin Van Buren, and bring it to the House of Representatives where they can decide and ultimately put in a Whig as President of the United States. The strategy, unfortunately, backfires. Van Buren actually gets a majority of the Electoral College. He carries 15 and 26 states, and the result is he's going to become President of the United States.